think it was Charlie Munger who famously said that in his 120 years investing or whatever it is, that he's consistently underestimated the power of incentives. And if I look at most REM packages on the top of companies, there is a bit for environmental and social in top executives' earnings, but most of it's driven by earnings, EPS, return on capital targets. So it's not explicit at all as a target. So unless it's in people's packages, how is it going to affect behaviors, gentlemen? I'll start with you, Simon, this time.
Well, I think you've touched on a very good point. It should probably be in people's packages more explicitly than perhaps it is. I mean, my view on this is, again, it's about taking the long-term approach. And too often boards of companies perhaps give too much of the focus on the strategy of the business to the executive without necessarily testing it themselves. But if the strategy is going to take you on a very long-term journey, it has to potentially survive several generations of executives. And therefore, in my view, the better companies are the ones where clearly the executive is involved in putting together the strategy, but it's something the board has fully bought into and supports through generations of executives, and that should be factored into how they're incentivized and compensated. And I think you're right, there's probably still a lot more work to do to really put longer term incentives into that. That has changed over the last few years. We've gone in many cases from 3 to 5 years and beyond, but there's more to do in terms of putting in more of the perhaps the softer factors into the compensation incentives as well.